it's a natural fight to get made. That's Todd Dubois. Todd Dubois. Is that pronounced right? Yeah, I think so. Todd Dubois. Or Dubois. Huh. One of them. Right? But anyhow, I think Todd is right. I think, the fight with Tyson beating Usyk, I think with AJ not wanting to fight Dubois, there's nobody else for Dubois to fight except the person that has the other belts. We need to stop with the whole fanboying. We need to stop with how we feel versus what's right and wrong. Okay, Danny Dubois did what he's supposed to do. Now, people didn't expect him to do it. People didn't want him to do it because it wasn't even supposed to happen. Why? Because Anthony Joshua was supposed to have been better on the night, more prepared on the night, and ready for action. He's just like everything about him. It's always about fitness and working out and looking good. But I think it's more to preparation than that mentally, a game plan. What are you going to do based on what Danny Dubois does? What answers do you have for what Danny Dubois could do? I don't think that there was anything like that. I think what people do around AJ, they train AJ to do a couple things well that he already knows how to do. On top of that, they don't really build a game plan based off of who they're fighting. They've proven that, and you can't blame it on the trainers. You can, because you got, first you had a Rob McCracken, same shit. He was asking people, how do I beat Usyk? Like, well, obviously you guys didn't have a game plan. Robert Garcia, okay, throw more punches to the body. They brought him in, and there was a lot of beef on that in that camp because, AJ wouldn't allow him to do certain things that he wanted to get done for him being hired to do what he's supposed to do. Okay, that's another one. And then still, when he fought Usyk the second time, there was no really game plan. Work harder? You know what I mean? Like, there was no game plan. Like throw the right to the body and keep that right to the body. Slow him down round after round. Then set him up with a right hand followed with a left hook or a left hook to the body. Those type of things. Really analyzing what the other fighter does. Now we have who? Ben Davison. Okay, still. The way Danny Dubois went at Anthony Joshua, hey, roll the dice. Listen, there was no strategy. Okay, and saying all this to say this, there was strategy from Danny Dubois. He did what he's supposed to do. Sometimes we don't get the fights that we want to see. We just don't. But we need to get the fights that we should see. And we should see Danny Dubois versus Tyson Fury for an undisputed heavyweight championship if he can beat Oleksandr Usyk. If he can beat Oleksandr Usyk, that fight should happen. It's a natural fight. However, there's a lot of things wrong with what Todd said, okay, that totally contradicts that. For one, if Tyson Fury wins, who says he wants to fight Danny Dubois right away? He may want to go right back in there and fight Oleksandr Usyk and end this trilogy because then they're 1-1. He's already said that, okay? He didn't say anything about fighting Danny Dubois. He said, well, I will fight him for a trilogy. He said he would take that belt and then fight him, But honestly, I think if Usyk is talking about retiring, it depends on how this fight goes next month. That may be a fight that he may not want to miss out on if Oleksandr Usyk is talking about retiring. So Danny Dubois is going to be IBF champion. He's young. He's not going anywhere. So if Tyson gets that win over Usyk, I think he has time for Danny Dubois. I don't think he would probably have time for Usyk because we don't know what Usyk will decide to do at that point. Okay. So, and for two, we don't know what Danny Dubois plans to do. I've heard him say he wants the unified opportunity, and he should get that. He's young enough. He can be, a pretty decent reigning and defending fighter for a couple years until somebody knocks him off. You know what I'm saying? And, takes those belts from him and he loses it some type of way. But, but no, I think that fight should happen. Anthony Joshua, should take his time to do whatever he needs to do. Eddie Hearn has already pulled rank and I guess in company, but he's already said, hey, we had to do this. I think we means me. You know what I mean? Everybody's saying, well, it was more than just Eddie, Kurt. Well, listen, it was Eddie that said, hey, we had to do this. So he was a part of that. And I think he was the main source or the main voice behind, you know, making that decision for Anthony Joshua. See, here's the thing. You can be a sole voice in a group of people, and you can just make those people follow what you want to get done. And I think that's what Eddie did. You know what I mean? It's ways around certain things. Like, yeah, I think we should do that. You know, all you have to do is include we instead of me or I. You know what I'm saying? And then people will, yeah, that is a good idea, because yeah, you can't just, you can't afford to lose again. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what drove it home to get everybody on board with Eddie Hearn, despite what Anthony Joshua wanted. And a lot of people think that's a mistake, but that's another video, isn't it? So I think we need to really look at the idea of Tyson Fury and Daniel Dubois. You know, so yeah, that has to happen, but he has a tough fight ahead of him, because he's in there against someone that has actually beat him. Okay, so, you know, easier said than done, people. But I do agree with Todd Dubois. You guys tell me what you think of Todd Dubois saying that it's a natural thing for Tyson Fury to fight Daniel Dubois for undisputed if he beats Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!